So, welcome to the baseball stuff. This is great. I got my guy JT Hayes back here. We've learned so much about both of these gentlemen behind the scenes today, and we're going to learn a lot more about both of these gentlemen this morning. It's great to see you, Gary. Every weekend we're going to be doing the show together. You've been on fire. Congratulations. How's Gary doing this morning?
Trying to survive this heat. In Virginia, it's 95 going on 3 days now. I know y'all had a 95-degree day, followed by immediately by a 1.5 feet of snow the next day.
Correct.
So I'd rather be 95 than a 1.5 feet of snow.
No,
so I'm doing a lot better than you're doing. So
nope, I would much rather be out in the snow than in your stupid, hot, humid, sweaty balls weather. Second of all, 3 hours after the snow stopped, 99% of it was gone. But I'm pretty fed up with Denver weather. Anyways, as you'll see, JT Hayes has a wonderful setup. Looks like he's in an old person's home. Where are you there, JT Hayes?
I'm in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Shocker. Old people's home. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's nice down here. And what can I say? I mean, I was talking before we came on about this little community that the guys have built. And we get to Florida late last night. We're staying in a development that's next to the Ritz-Carlton in Amelia Island. My wife wanted to go to the lobby bar there, have some drinks. I said, okay. So we go, we're hanging out there, and some dude comes up to me and he goes, hey, are you JT Hayes? And my wife starts giggling because this is the only place where people would call me that. And sure enough, it's a guy who was a subscriber. So Brandon from Charlotte, North Carolina, probably not watching today because he had a little baby, a little 6-month-old that he and his wife just welcomed into the world, and they're here on vacation. And it was good to meet one of the Run Pure subscribers last night.
JT is not in a private Brazil brothel, Mike. He is in Florida. I can't, you know what? I honest to God cannot confirm that, but that absolutely.
You have no idea about what I'm telling you.
But it absolutely does look like you're in an old person's home. Now, we also learned things about Gary this morning. Gary, if you don't want to do the things, obviously you don't have to. I just learned that Gary has the second best head of hair at RPS. I mean, why would you do that? Gary, you're an older gentleman. You have hair on your head. Why would you not?
Wait. I'm not an older gentleman.
You're in your 30s, right?
I mean, that's not an older gentleman.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's all downhill, bro.
Well, next year I'll be 40. So then I'm an old gentleman.
I'm going to say you are now. Anyways, Gary, can you please show us your head of hair? Look at that mane. Why does he cover it up with a hat, JT? You must just be so jealous right now.
Here, I'll go hatless. I'll go hatless for the rest of the show.
Yes, Gary. Definitely shipping today. Definitely shipping. I don't understand why you would cover that. It is a beautiful mane. And
so I wear a sleep apnea machine to help me sleep at night, and I kind of get crazy hair in the top of my head here because the top of it's right there. So I like to cover it with a hat.
No, Gary. No, this is my recommendation
today, though.
Yeah, don't do it, bro.
Just to shove it right up JT's rear end because he doesn't have any hair.
That's the first time I've heard Gary talk shit. JT, do you ever retort?
No, I mean, we've covered it, Holden. I mean, I feel sadness for everyone who doesn't have the shape of skull that I have that can pull off this beautiful look. And I've said hair is the elixir of the devil. So there you go.
I definitely cannot pull off the shaved head look. I've tried it before. My head is way too big for that.
Way too big for that? Okay. Yeah, I did shave my head 2 times, and it was awful. I looked like a little chimp. It was, my ears are sticking out. I just looked like an idiot. What's different? I don't know. Like button if you get a shot. If you want to talk about drug busts, we can do that too. We don't have to do that right now. Chat is very exciting. Mike says, sorry, Gary, I'm in my 20s and you're old, bro. So that's all I can say, my friend. And then you don't beat Holden's hair. I disagree. I think if you have been hiding this mane for so long, then you take it off. He wins. He's got the best hair at RPS. There's no doubt about it. And then lastly, Parabay, Gary, for a Vietnam War vet, you sure have great hair. And
oh wow.
Thank you for your service, Gary. I do appreciate that. In all seriousness, and I'm not even kidding. Thank you for your service, Gary. It's important.
20 years. It's time to move on to something else. That's why
Yeah,
I got
it
the
is.
facial
It's
hair
time.
growing now.
Yeah, it's in your life, not the show. Okay. I was going to say in the show, it's probably time to move on too.
Yeah.
Gary, have you looked at the weather today? Besides for it being hot and humid, I feel like Philadelphia should be a nice place to play. I think it's going to be okay here in Denver. We'll have temps in the 50s. Not great weather though. It's not great hitting weather out here. Anything else I'm missing? Because that Philadelphia Dodgers, we got a good pitching matchup, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some runs there today, Gare.
Yeah, I mean it's really hot in Baltimore as well. I'm seeing 90 degrees, wind slightly blowing out in Baltimore as well as in Boston. 13-mile-an-hour blowing out to left center. Looks like 92 degrees. So yeah, I'm probably going to be focusing on those offenses a little bit. Just better hitting environment, and there's a couple more other offenses that are in domes that I like today as well. But yeah, definitely going to be targeting those offenses in those hot weather spots.
Very good. Holding something. It's something about Mary today. Yeah, it's possible. JT, please give me a little overall slate. Is weather going to play into it? What do we got here?
Yeah, I think so. On the surface, a pretty good pitching matchup in Boston as well as Philadelphia, but Boston with a 13-mile-an-hour wind blowing out. I think I saw pretty warm there as well. I know it was a bit of a heat wave in the Northeast. Gary mentioned Camden Yards, the small park there, but the Tampa Bay Rays get the benefit of having simply just a pitching machine on the mound today. Spencer Watkins just going to throw fastballs down the middle. So that's very exciting for Tampa Bay, a team that looks like finally they're starting to hit. And outside of that, not really a whole lot. I mean, maybe you could look at Houston here in a matchup against Taylor Hearn. That looks like he's been getting very, very lucky lately, even though he's got a decent strikeout rate. So like them a little bit. You get Aaron Sanchez against the Brewers. I could see some interest in the Brewers, but really, I think as of right now, and we got a little time before the slate starts here, so we'll check in on line movement and things like that. But right now, it's looking like I'm going to be focused on that Amtrak Acela corridor, as they call it, from Baltimore up through Boston. Is where I'm going to try and make the most of my lineups.
It starts in Washington, JT Hayes, just so you know.
So, but I'm not, there's no game in Washington.
Doesn't matter.
So I mean, the Acela corridor.
False information.
It's not because I'm talking about the part of the corridor where the fucking games are, Holden.
Well, there's only one corridor.
By the way, whoever in chat said, two guys in chat, one, a look of disgust when Holden goes on rants. It's not a look of disgust. It's a look of admiration that he can come up with these types of thoughts on the fly like an absolute psychopath. It's fantastic to watch. I can see the mind working. And then Joe A. Eovaldi giving up 3 bombs today. It might be more than that.
Oh,
whoa. More than 3 bombs today?
I mean, he's given up 14 on the season. So,
I mean, 3 in one day, that's a lot to guarantee.
He gave up 5 in his last start. So,
yeah. Well, wasn't that against Houston?
I mean, yeah, but
and they own his ass. Okay. All right. I like the prediction. And yes, when I do go on a rant, it's not disgust from JT Hayes. Absolutely. He just questions why he has to work with me. And that's about the only reason.
My favorite times of the week. It gets me out of bed early on Sunday.
I did miss you last week. I did miss you last week. I was like, I got on the show. I'm like, where's JT Hayes? And what were you doing last week?
My wife's grandfather passed away. So it was all right. It was unexpectedly, but not unexpectedly, if that makes sense. He had an accident in his home. Then he got to the hospital. Hospital said he had COVID, so they wouldn't let anybody in. Then finally someone got in, and then like within 15 minutes, that was it. So it was a really odd couple of days, and I needed to not be doing this at that time. So
all right.
Sorry that I missed you.
On that somber note, let's get into today's slate. And we got it. And the playbook's up, by the way. Uncle T's MLB playbook is up. Uncle T, I was up at 6 a.m. today, and I looked for it, and I said, how could Uncle T not have the playbook done by 6 a.m.? But he's great. I'll be using it today. Gary, let's do some pitching, dude. There's a lot of pitchers when we have slates like this, obviously. And what is it? 10 games, right?
Yeah. 12 on FanDuel.
How many? FanDuel?
FanDuel included 2 more games, the Coors game and the White Sox Yankees, I think.
Yeah.
Why not?
All right. So get into the pitching. You can include the Coors Field and the other one as well. So let's get to this. Like, do we want to pay up for these guys? Peralta and Gilbert, both 10K or above on DK today, Gary?
Peralta, I mean, he's fine. He's got the highest strikeout rate on the slate of any pitcher. Pretty good SIERA. Got a 2.76 SIERA on the season. Washington doesn't strike out a whole lot here, but I mean, it's still a good matchup for them. They're a bottom 10 offense in the bigs here. So I don't hate paying for the safety of Freddie Peralta on the slate. I don't think I'm going to do it just because I'm playing like 3 lineups today. He's coming off of one of JT Hayes' premier ceiling games against the Braves. And I know JT Hayes is probably going to be on a fade side on that train too. So I'm going to be underweight here. I don't think we need to pay up today. I mean, I think there's a lot of cheap pitchers that we can use. And Peralta is definitely not going to be on my list today. Going down to about 9K though, I think Shane Bieber is probably my favorite. And he's going to, for a good reason. He's going to be the most popular pitcher on the slate. He's 9K. His strikeout rate's down a little bit this season. I'm seeing like 22% on the year. But he gets a clean matchup here against Detroit. So, and it's a little cooler in Cleveland. 9K for him. This guy was, his strikeout rate's down a little bit, but he was 10K plus last season. So
Gary, can I just sabotage the show real quick? I'm not happy. GQ says, does Holden even play DFS? Are you into bestiality? You know what the answer to both questions is? Absolutely. Why would you think I wouldn't play DFS? I'm a freaking host. I play NBA Showdown. I threw a couple golf lineups in this week. My bankroll is actually respectable during NFL season. That's absolute bullshit.
I will say this. I'm going to defend Holden here. His plays of the day on Sundays have been hitting like none other.
During this week,
the whole
too.
Season.
I've hit 7 of 8. So GQ. Meh. All right, please, Gary, continue.
Yeah. So going down to the 9K. Bieber's definitely going to be the one that I have interest in here. Gonsolin's been really good, but I like that. I like Gonsolin as a pitcher. It's just going to be really hot and humid and wind blowing out in Philly. So I'm not going to go there today. And then I'll name one more and then let JT go through his top guys here. Sandy Alcantara, 8,800 against the Braves. That's a cheap price. He can go 8 to 9 innings here. And the Braves strike out with the best of them. So I like Alcantara and Bieber from 8,800 and above.
Alcantara and Bieber. JT Hayes, that whole Marlins stat's pretty awesome, man. You know what I saw yesterday? Derek Jeter in a Subway commercial. He's probably getting paid 10 times more doing a Subway commercial than he was as the president of the Marlins. So now I understand why he left. JT Hayes, pitching today. Large slate. If you want to include FanDuel, go for it. If you don't, I don't blame you.
Yeah, Derek Jeter clearly needed to make a little more money. That's why he. You're right about the Marlins staff. The Marlins, I still think, even though they were off to a shitty start offensively, still a sleeper in the National League East because with DeGrom out and Scherzer now out for a couple of months, I'm friends with a group of guys who are Mets fans, and they're just, look at us, look at this lead in the National League East. And I'm not even saying it as someone who's rooting for the Braves. I'm saying it as you're going to be without pitching for the next 2 months, guys. This is going to be a rough ride for the Mets in the National League East. I think the Marlins are a team that's going to contend here because of that staff. Alcantara, a guy who got off to a slow start this season, but Gary pointed him out, 23% slider use. That's what you're looking for in right-handers against the Atlanta Braves. It's Sunday in Miami. 8,800 is a nice price for him. He's got a nice strikeout prop. The Marlins are favored at home here, so I like that. I'm going to be off of Peralta simply because watching this Nationals team as much as I watch baseball for this purpose, man, they just don't strike out a lot. They make guys throw a lot of pitches. We saw this with Brandon Woodruff yesterday. Even though Woodruff finished up pretty well comparatively on the slate. That 10-5 price tag is something I'm going to avoid here. I'm going to avoid Gilbert. I'm going to avoid Eovaldi. I think Bieber against this Detroit team that people want to make a thing. And people thought, like myself even, that with some of their additions before the season, maybe they were going to be good. They're just not right now. And I don't know when that's going to change. So Bieber 9K is fine. The one guy that I'm very interested in, and I think I'm going to end up being overweight. Same thing I said on this show on Friday night. I played Hyun-Jin Ryu at 4% ownership against the Reds. He got the win. He got 19 fantasy points. Yusei Kikuchi, they changed his pitch mix after the first couple of starts this season. And then he went on and he dominated the Yankees and then pitched well a week later against the Yankees. He dumped his slider, which was the pitcher that got lit up and sent over the wall every single time he pitched. Yusei 6.9. Toronto's a minus 275 favorite at home here against the Reds, who, once again, a 0 isolated power rating against right-handed pitching over the last something like 21 days now. So I think I might just lock Yusei in and mix up the other guys.
I like it. It's time for me to give our spiel. So let's go to that right now. And the live chat is tremendous. Thank you, subscribers, for having a wonderful morning. And again, thank you indeed, too, for your service. Always appreciate that. I'm a big fan of the military, big supporter of the military. So thanks to everybody that defends our country, and fuck anybody that has a problem with you. Let's get into the winners. We do have a lot of winners recently. Yes, as we always do, because members never win, do they, Gary? Members never win, do they? Well, I have some proof that they do actually win. And Howitt won 3K in MMA. You know what? Title is an analyst, but he won like 8K plus last night. So I just want to give a shout out to Title. Title, do not spend it on drugs and women. Put it in a savings account and go win some more money, buddy. Adams won 4K in MLB. Mac 2 Services, 10K in MLB. I'm always reading that dude's name off. He's good. TMR 6, 27K in the NBA. Gronk Spike with a pair of $50,000 wins. And then Tamboline, 125K in the PGA. So good for Tambo too. I appreciate it. A lot of our members are winning. As you see, our analysts are the best in the business. They win a lot too. And if you listen to exactly what they say, you're probably going to win. Again, hit the like button. Good to see Uncle T in the chat today. He loves the Beebs today too. And again, Uncle T's playbook is up right now. What do we do here at RPS? We give the course. These guys give their best plays of the day in one lineup. What do we got? 7 guys that we give out, right? 7 guys on DraftKings.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then, you get the pitchers, you get the playbook. Again, Uncle T did that today. He gives you his list of the top pitchers on the slate and then 5 guys at every single position except for outfield where there's a million of them. So slate strategies, if you're not joined, I don't know what to tell you anymore. So that's great. Also, yeah, you're right, Steve Anthony. RPS has been on fire. Like button would be great. JT Hayes going to have to give us a number to get to at some point in time, probably a little bit too early to do that. And if you haven't already, let me see the subs. 8.84 thousand subscribers. Okay, we're getting there. 10K hoops throwing a party for you, the listeners. So hit the subscribe button, bottom right-hand corner, red button, sideways triangle. Let's get into these games, though. Gary, I'm going to start with you on the.
Hold on.
What?
I don't think we're done with pitcher yet.
We got more pitcher? I got a betting show in 40 minutes. Can you hurry it up already?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to talk through something with JT real quick about a certain guy that's 4.9K on DraftKings, who's got the highest strikeout rate on the slate and the lowest expected ERA on the slate, and that is Mr. Brady Singer. JT, what are you doing with Brady Singer today?
Yeah, I didn't mention him, and I maybe should have. And the reason why I think 2 things. One, I saw some people in Discord talking about wanting to play this Ashcraft kid. He looks like nothing special, about a 20% strikeout rate in the minors. Interesting, he hasn't given up a home run this season. So I would view that differently. I would view that as he's due to give up some bombs, and he's facing one of the most power-heavy teams. They just haven't shown it but they will get into that bullpen probably sooner than they ordinarily would with a rookie starting. I think people are going to go to him at 4K when Singer at 4.9 in a total that is under 7.5 with heavy juice on the under here. I don't love Bailey Ober at 7.7, but I think if you wanted to drop down completely to get, let's say, a mix of Dodgers, Blue Jays, Rays, pieces of that Seattle-Boston game, Brady Singer allows you to do that. Minnesota's been hitting the ball okay, but it's cold in Kansas City. The wind is blowing in at a decent clip. So I do think Singer as a full punt or close to full punt is absolutely in play.
Anything else, Gary?
No, I think we're good. We're good.
We're going to move on.
Point, Holden. It's an important point. That was an important point.
I think it was, I'm glad Gary brought up the rest of it. You know, I'm all excited here. I'm just pumped up. It's Sunday morning. I'm working with a couple of my boys and, you know, Gary put me in my spot and I deserved it. So I'm not going to,
with us too. Uncle T is saying that he hopes people go to Ashcroft and I do too.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Gary, let's go game by game here. How does that sound? Tampa Bay, Baltimore. My boy Rutschman, kind of like that he's up here. Do you know that I think he's the same age as Juan Soto, though? Juan Soto's been in the bigs for like 4 years. You imagine that guy's ridiculous. Anyways, let's talk Tampa Bay, Baltimore. Any reason to go to any Baltimore bats? And I already know you guys like the Rays today, so talk to me.
I don't hate Baltimore, but man, it's like a 150 play. Just getting a sprinkle of a stack in there, but I can't do it in 2 to 3 teams. But yeah, Tampa Bay does look good here. It's a little Spencer Watkins, looking at his numbers this year, he's showing to be very reverse splits. I'm showing a 333 ISO allowed to right-handed batters. You know, all these lefties are going to be really popular for Tampa Bay, leaving Randy Arozarena, who's coming off, I think he hit 2 bombs yesterday or the day before yesterday. His ownership will probably be down a little bit here. Definitely like the right-handed pieces here, as well as the left-handed pieces. But I could see Randy, like I said, Randy Arozarena, Harold Ramirez. I could see those 2 guys being a little bit suppressed ownership just because people like to jam in the lefties. But yeah, definitely like Tampa Bay.
Definitely like the Tampa Bay. JT Hayes, I think you're right there, aren't you?
Yeah, same thing. Arozarena with the 2 home runs last night. So he is, as we saw when he came up in his rookie season, one of the streakiest hitters, if not in baseball currently, in like the history of the game. I mean, when this guy gets hot, he goes on absolute fire runs. I like Kiermaier leading off under 3K. Something I always do when I'm playing Rays and looking for stacks is I just push the fucking X button on Howard Ramirez. They always want to give me this dude. It's like he might get you 2 singles. He might get you a stolen base. And Vidal Brujan, who's someone that was a highly touted rookie, it just hasn't done shit. So I like some of these guys. Zunino priced up a little bit now, but there's some guys here. And then on the Baltimore side, I don't know if I'm interested in that price with Kluber just because of the management, the pitcher management of the Rays. But Santander is a guy who's been hot and really on fire. So 3-1 for Santander in the 3-hole against Kluber is someone I could see playing as a guy on the Orioles.
Okay, let's move on to our next game. I like it. Isaac Paredes, by the way, real quick, kind of like him a little bit today. Not bad.
I would play Paredes over Howard Ramirez.
He's in the mix for the play of the day. He's got to be in the mix for the play of the day. What's he batting 6th in that order? Gary, I'm going to go to JT Hayes this time. We'll go back and forth on the first one. Do we want to go with any Boston guys against Logan Gilbert? I guess would be the first thing. And then the other side of things is I know you don't like Eovaldi today. The Astros have his number, but maybe target an Eovaldi is the way to go.
Yeah, I like this game. I mean, the game total is going up. It's one of the highest totals on the slate here. 86 degrees in Boston with the wind blowing out. And that's a good mix for seeing some runs, seeing some balls go over the monster. So I like these lefties in particular here. JP Crawford been on fire to start the season. Winker hasn't done much, but 3-2 for a guy with that type of power, if he gets going, not a bad play. Abraham Toro, if he cracks the lineup, has been hitting some homers lately. And then on the Red Sox side, I mean, Trevor Story been finally starting to hit the ball this week. Rafael Devers, always in play here, no matter what the matchup is, but particularly in this one today. And then JD Martinez been hitting the ball really well also of late. So I like this game quite a bit from the offensive side. Get some pieces, some mini stacks, maybe even a full stack on the Seattle side.
Gary, what do we want to do here?
Yeah, I'm with JT lockstep here. I think these Red Sox bats in particular are going to be really low owned today. I know I don't want to give away the playbook as a whole, but I know Uncle T said he likes Devers here as potentially a lower owned stud on the slate against a right-handed pitcher. So definitely I always prefer a better offense as a whole. So I'll go with Boston here as my preferred target. But yeah, Eovaldi's given up the most. I mean, 14 home runs on the season this year. It's hard to not like some of these bats on the Seattle side. I do like JP Crawford as a whole. As a player, I think he's really good. He's been good this season. So yeah, definitely prefer the Boston guys, but don't hate I won't 5-man Seattle, but maybe like a 3-man.
Little 3-man Seattle action. I like it. Like button would be nice. JT Hayes, here we are almost halfway through the show. 91 likes with 300 watching. Please scare the people.
I mean, that's just not good enough. And it's Sunday. We're in a good mood. I'm on a quasi vacation here, so we won't simply stop the stream now as we would maybe on another day. But 288 watching, we're going to get over 300 here. I mean, 185 is the stone minimum that we have to get to in order to consider the plays. So that number is probably going to be higher. I would start hitting the like button now so that we at least get past that 185 threshold. Then we can have another discussion.
Gary, Dodgers, Philadelphia. I think the guy I love the most today is Edwin Rios, coming out, hitting some right-handed pitching. That's what he does. 965 OPS, really hot and gross in Philly. Edwin Rios, one of my favorite plays today. What do you think about this game with the Dodgers at the Phillies?
Definitely prefer the Dodgers side here. I just think I trust Gonsolin a little bit more as a pitcher than I do Eflin. Plus the Dodgers bullpen is really good, so don't really like attacking them here. But yeah, I'm with you on Rios. He's batting cleanup today, 3,100. I don't know if I believe the 1% ownership that I'm seeing next to him, but man, if he's 1%, that's just lock him in today.
Dumb.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman too. I mean, maybe because he's first base only, so you got to pick either Freddie or Rios. That is the bad thing. But yeah, I mean, I definitely prefer the Dodgers here, but I mean, these Philly bats have been hitting pretty well lately in these Dodger games. Their games with the Dodgers going back to LA. I mean, they've just been shootouts. But Bryce Harper, 6,200. I mean, I don't know if I can pay these prices though. I mean, Rhys Hoskins, 5,300. Even Gene Segura, he's down batting 5,200. I mean, I know they've been on fire, but man, I just don't know if I can do it. Definitely prefer the Dodgers side.
Okay. JT Hayes, what do you think Edwin Rios in that Dodgers lineup today?
Yeah, I like Rios. I like Bellinger. Muncy might be coming out of his slump a little bit here. So definitely going to be more on the Dodgers here as well.
That's it. That's your whole breakdown.
I like the game. I like the Dodgers.
I like it a lot. Cincinnati, Toronto would be our next game to get to. Kikuchi and Ashcraft, the pitching matchup, at least the beginning of the game. Whew. We don't have a Seattle lineup yet, do we? Our boy Rodriguez is always not Rodriguez. What the hell am I talking about here? Let's get into this. What do we got? Yeah, it is Rodriguez, right?
Are you having a stroke?
What am I talking about? Cincinnati at Toronto, whatever, Gary. Just go. It's possible I'm having a stroke. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk about Kikuchi a little bit, but yeah, I'm probably on the same train as JT here. Going to be locking in Kikuchi on all my teams. I just think he's too cheap for this matchup. So definitely no Cincinnati for me. And I'm going to continue to fade these Toronto bats. They haven't done anything recently. I don't think they're going to do anything here. I know Cincinnati's pin's bad, but I mean, people have been playing Toronto all weekend and it hasn't really panned out. So I'm not going to start today. But one bad thing is they do have Marvin Hudson as the umpire in this game, and he's one of the most extreme hitter umpires there is. That's my one concern.
That's a concern. That's a big one. Okay, JT, you want to talk about the wrong game, or do you want to talk about Cincinnati, Toronto?
Yeah. So as mentioned, how I feel about the Reds and Kikuchi, like Kikuchi a lot here. I will have some Toronto for the very reason that Gary pointed out is people have been playing them. They have been doing nothing. I expect they're going to come in lower owned here. I'm not going to go overweight on them, but in 50, 75 lineups, probably have, 8 Toronto stacks just because this matchup, especially I worry more about the hitters umpire for the rookie. Kid going to have some nerves, making his first major league start. He's a pitch to contact guy. And, he puts a few on. And like I said, hadn't given up a home run yet this year. Today might be the day.
Ooh, today is the day, huh? You said might be.
I think it's listen, I don't know if there's a line on this. If there's a line that would allow you to wager whether or not Douglas, Graham, Ashcraft gives up over a half a home run today, I would, especially if you could get a good number on it, I would be all over that.
This is what sets JT Hayes apart from the rest of us. He knows dudes' middle names, and obviously helps.
He knows
the
their
handicap.
mothers too.
Yeah, Bieber today, Detroit, Cleveland, JT Hayes. I don't know. Did you mention you like Bieber? I'm staying away from. I don't like this game.
Why don't you like this game?
Because Detroit and Cleveland. Detroit just sucks ass, and that's about it. They can't score.
Yeah.
No, you don't like that explanation?
I mean, but then you should like Bieber.
Oh, no. That's fine. We're talking about offense though.
Oh, okay.
So yes, the Biebs is awesome today. Great play, JT Hayes.
Got it. Yeah, it's hard to get excited about playing any offense in this game. The run total is 7. Give me Bieber. Maybe if I felt crazy, I would put in Jose Ramirez in a couple of lineups. But as Gary mentioned in the playbook, I think Devers is the play over Joe Ram today.
Gary?
Uncle T. Yeah. So Uncle T mentioned that in the playbook. But anyway,
yep.
Get
it together, JT Hayes. Come on, man.
A little bit. I like Cleveland here a little bit. I'm looking at this small sample size of this rookie pitcher that's pitched for them, and I'm seeing like a 6% strikeout rate to left-handed bats. I know it's 35 plate appearances, but giving up some power, a lot of hard contact to lefties. So definitely like the Cleveland lefties here. Mini stack.
Little mini stack action. Gary stepping up. Let's see if our viewers have been stepping up with the LIKE button. Where are we? Oh, we got 3 1/4 watching now, 128. You can get to 200. You get to 200. We're going to bust out something special for you. Okay. You get to 200 today. I got something special for you. I don't know if you're going to want it, but it's definitely, it's definitely
Holden Sunday special sauce.
You just wait. Gross, JT. So Atlanta, Miami, and since Gary is a huge Braves fan, as we know, although you probably can't tell today because he's not wearing a hat because he has a beautiful head of hair. I don't want to target Alcantara, but can you get into Ian Anderson here? What's going on with this dude in real life? I mean, we're not going to play him and strike anybody out. What's going on with him?
Man, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. He hasn't really looked good at all this season. Definitely would prefer to play some Miami bats, but I mean, man, it's tough with all these other good hitting environments on the slate. It's hard to play anybody in this park. Unless you're the Brewers, when I'm after the first day when I came off of fading them all year, I played them that day in Miami and they went off, but I don't know. I can't have any Miami here. Maybe Jazz Chisholm at 5,500 leading off. Definitely like the lefties here, but I don't know. I'll be underweight.
Underweight on this game.
No Braves for me today.
Any for you, JT Hayes? Also a Braves fan with a New York accent.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've wanted Jesus Sanchez to be a thing, and he just hasn't done it. He did, I think it was a triple yesterday, but I don't know. I think the other spots are so much better than this Miami Atlanta spot. I'll probably be completely off outside of Alcantara.
Okay. I don't blame you for that. We'll get to a game that maybe interests some people. Texas and Houston, JT Hayes. I love me some Yordong. I mean, I know he's kind of obvious. Maybe some people look at the lefty go, it's not going to happen, but boy, he murders lefties, man. And if I don't have a Houston stack and I need an expensive one-off, he's my guy today.
Yeah, I like some of these Houston pieces. I probably wouldn't full stack Houston here, the way this sets up, but definitely Altuve leading off is nice. Yuli Gurriel at 4K. It's a nice discount on him. I think you're going to get these guys low owned because you're going to see higher ownership on the guys in Tampa Bay and the Dodgers and Phillies. So Jeremy Pena, don't love the price tag in the 7-hole, but Jeremy Pena stole a bag last night. He can do something in every aspect of the game to help your lineup. And I like him here. And then punt catcher, if you wanted to, Maldonado 2.9, can sometimes do some things. So on the Texas side, just not a ton of interest.
They've Rangers hit the under the first 500. It doesn't really matter there, but they don't do good against starters. They hit the under in 17 of their last 26 games. So that's not a good sign for them. Gary, Yordong, Houston.
Man, I love this game. I love both. Yeah. I love bats on both sides. I'm just looking at some exit velocity allowed, barrel percentage, expected ERA, and Taylor Hearn is tops on the slate on 92% exit velocity allowed, 19% barrel rate on the season, and a 7 expected ERA. If JT is correct, and he says that Houston is going to be low owned, like sign me up for some Houston. I'm always on the Houston bandwagon though, with Stevie Boynton, who's probably yet to be awake from his slumber party. But yeah, definitely love some Houston, and I like some Texas too, because Urquidy, his numbers are just as bad as Hearn as far as exit velocity allowed this season. 92 mile per hour exit velocity allowed, 12% barrel rate, 6.85 expected ERA. I think, man, I like bats on both sides here. They're both going to be low owned, I think, and I'm going to be overweight for sure.
Ooh, a little overweight action. All right, I'm going to remind you, like button would be great. Trying to get to 200 here today. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, a little red box with a sideways triangle in the bottom right-hand corner of your beautiful, absolutely gorgeous YouTube screen. Also, let me throw something else out there at you. If you are into joining us, this will be great. PGA 50% off your first payment to run Pure Sports. Okay, you'll get our Showdown content as well. And we're doing a ton of Showdown. I mean, Tony and JSU are just loading it up, locked and loaded. I know we've got quite a few guys with Coors, Rubio's there. Just a lot. Showdown has been very profitable in the NBA since this place launched. So again, you can get in right now. PGA 50% off your first payment. No Saber though. So you're getting all that. You're getting Showdown course. You're getting baseball course today, baseball playbook, NBA play, every playbook you can think of. It's a good time to get in at RPS. PGA 50% off your first payment. Minnesota, Kansas City, Gary, do we want to attack Ober? What do you want to do in this game? Or do you want to attack Singer? I mean, I thought one of you guys might have actually liked him. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I like Singer a lot here in this spot. So no Minnesota for me and no Kansas City for me. I just can't. I don't know. I just don't like this game. It's a little cooler in Kansas City. Wind's blowing in a little bit, so I'll pass here.
JT Hayes?
Yeah, same thing. I like Singer a little bit. I think you can mix him in, and just not going to be on. It's not a game to target, in my opinion.
Then let's just go to Washington, Milwaukee. The Nationals offense just about as bad as it gets lately. Boy, this has been some nasty stuff we've been watching out of them, JT. And then they got to face Peralta. On the other side of things, I can't believe that we got a little Aaron Sanchez. This guy was a top prospect with the Blue Jays. Now he's sitting over here with the Nationals trying to rebuild his career, and he gives up some hard hit contact too. You get some ground balls, but you could get the barrel on this dude. So there's got to be something here that's not on the National side, no? Or is there a National you like? Soto, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the case here is here's the interesting thing about Peralta, because of the pitching on this slate and because of his price tag, and I think maybe partially because of the fact that the Nationals don't strike out, he's not going to be highly owned here. He's looking to be, in fact, 15, maybe 20% owned. So if he was going to be more highly owned and you could get better leverage by, say, going with the Soto, Bell, Yadiel Hernandez stack, I would say maybe I'd be thinking about it in multi-entry. I just don't. I can't do it on this slate in this environment with the Brewers bullpen fully healthy now. On the Milwaukee side, yeah, I mean, you've got these lefties that you could be interested in. Luis Arias has been hitting well since he came back. And so I would have some interest here in Milwaukee. I mean, not a ton, but I will definitely have some Milwaukee bats. And then just a point here, 335 watching, 333 now, 153 likes. Listen, we're trending towards the plays being given out only in Discord. So we really have to bump that number up.
Okay. And speaking of that, Joseph Mata's watching on delay here, and he just got to my rant about me playing DFS. That actually really pisses me off, to be honest with you. And that's one, and GQ's gone, which is fine, a little bitch. But I will say this, I bust my ass too. I give some nice plays of the day. I come on. This is what we tout here at RPS. Everybody plays, even the host plays. Okay. Got all of our analysts, even the host plays here at RPS. There's a lot of places out there where they just don't play. They sit there, they give advice. They don't put their own money in the pool. And that's something you should be taking account of. Gary, we'll get to this 339. Come on, 200. Let's go. Gary, Washington, Milwaukee. You want anything?
Yeah, I want a lot of Milwaukee here. Aaron Sanchez is bad. 95 mile per hour exit velocity allowed on 22 innings this season, the highest on the slate by a wide margin here. I mean, they're going to throw a ton of lefties at him. Wong, Yelich, Tellez, Narvaez. Love them all here. No Washington for me. As JT said, I mean, this Milwaukee bullpen's really good. But yeah, I love Milwaukee here.
All right, GQ's my friend again. He made good. It's very easy to get back on my good side, is all I want to say. Very easy. JT could call me the C word. I get upset for 1 second. Then
you never get upset.
And I love him. It is tough. I don't know. I got a little pissed off in that last one, though. Again, you're questioning my integrity in DFS. It pisses me off.
No, I'm talking about with me.
I don't get upset.
No, not these jackals. No. Not these jackals.
It takes a lot to piss me off. I think the only person here that would be tougher to piss off would be Tony, because the guy just nothing affects him. Absolutely, just nothing affects him. He just keeps going. He's like, you can say anything to me. I don't care. So I'll take pride in that. Arizona, Chicago. Can we get 11 home runs today, Gary? It's probably not going to happen, is it?
Yeah.
That was fun, though, on Friday. That was a fun Friday.
They weren't even on the slate, which pissed a lot of people off. We were on the Diamondbacks for a couple days, and they did nothing. And then they were on a standalone game on Friday afternoon, and they hit all these bombs. It was really, Josh Rojas went off for 3 home runs. And we've been playing that guy, waiting for that game, and then he's not on the slate. It's very frustrating. But yeah, I like the pitching a little bit in this game. I'm not paying the 8,600 for Merrill Kelly in this spot, but I do like Miley a little bit. So no bats for me here.
No bats.
Low total. Yeah. Okay.
What do you got? Anything here?
Yeah, I think Wade Miley will be in my pitcher pool. Some exposure to him, but other than that, not a ton of interest here.
Okay, so we're done with all the games. Where are we on the likes? Because we're going to talk about stacks, and then we'll give our plays of the day. 160. You need 31. We still got a couple of minutes. It's really not that tough to do. Just make us happy, help us with the algorithm, and hit the like button. That's it. Just get us to 200. Also, Uncle T, Holden making a push for RPS Employee of the Month for May. No way they'd give it to me back to back. This is like the NBA MVP. They wouldn't give guys back to back to back. They're going to stop at one for me, even though I'm deserved. You know, it's a travesty. Whoever wins it in the month of May is a fraud. Probably should not get it and should send the piece of paper that they get the Employee of the Month thing on right here to my house. JT Hayes?
I think you're right. I think you're going to be robbed. I think you're going to be robbed. It's absolutely
I am going to get robbed. I'm totally going to get. Who would they give it to anyways? Who would they give it to just to spite me?
Listen, Gary does the playbook.
I wouldn't be upset if Gary got
9 days a week. Yeah. You know, actually he doesn't because Uncle T did it today. So let's say 4 or 5 days a week. Yeah. That thing's a grind. I did that the first year of RPS. And I think there were only 2 of us doing it. I mean, that's a significant amount of time each day. So he's in contention, as they say.
I'm getting some gear sent to me. So I will say this. Anybody that wants to throw in the chat right now, who should be the RPS Employee of the Month? If you give the right answer, I will send you a piece of swag. Okay. If you give the right answer. I'm not saying it's me. I'm not saying it's me, JT Hayes. I'm just saying I got a name. Hey, who's that? Was that your wife?
That's her.
Hey, what's up, Mrs. JT Hayes? How's the old people's home treat you these days? You and your husband visiting Century Village in Boca Raton, Florida. Yeah. Mangone. Oh, they're giving it to Gary. They're giving it to Glock. They're giving it to Mangone.
Nobody giving it to you, Holden.
I don't blame them. I already got it. Again, I'm not getting back to back. It's just a bunch of bullshit. And I'm not going to get upset, though. I was surprised by K. Fallick. In all honesty, the only reason he gave it to me is because my dad was having some health issues. I feel 100% about that, but that's fine. You know, K. Fallick, you can do whatever you want. Amber Niehaus, I will. You know what? You're right. Amber Niehaus does deserve a vote. She does deserve a vote. I'm not really going to give you guys anything, so I don't care. Gary, let's talk about stacks. Why don't you give us your top 2 stacks today, my friend?
I'll give 3 out just because I'm feeling frisky.
Okay.
I think they're gonna get these 18 likes so they can get these plays of the day.
Yeah,
I'm actually just stalling a little bit so they can get to those 200 numbers. So because I don't hate the people like you do. So but I'm gonna give 3 out. I'm gonna go Dodgers, I'm gonna go Astros, and I'm gonna go Brewers as my top 3.
Doyers, Astros, Brewers. I kind of want to take my play of the day before you do, but that's okay, Gary. I'm gonna let you do your play of the day first.
I'm not taking Rios.
I
won't take Rios from.
Thank you. How do you know he's my? Oh, I already said it. JT Hayes, stacks, my friend. Let's talk some stacks. And I know I have the betting show with JJ and Joey Work at the top of the hour, but we can take our time. We still have 12 minutes left, and we've gone very fast on this show.
Well, you've been very efficient today, Holden. So,
I have been very efficient. Yeah.
I'll go with Seattle, Boston, and Houston.
Ooh, Seattle, Boston, and Houston. Do we have the Seattle lineup yet?
No, it doesn't matter. It's going to be fine.
I mean, what if they just take all their starters out and put a bunch of scrubs in? Would you still like
Toro was just placed on the IL. So there is that.
That's hurtful.
So now, does that change everything, JT Hayes?
No. I liked him, but you're still going to get Dylan Moore.
Okay.
You may get Torrens in the lineup as a DH. So, it doesn't change a lot for me.
Okay. 6 away. So since you didn't get to 200 yet, you're going to have to sit through my play. Like Gary said, I must tout myself. I poop on myself a lot and make fun of my plays have been amazing. We're talking 7 of 8 here, and they've all gone off. And they're guys like Melendez, La Stella, a bunch of scrubs. Yeah. Edward Rios is my guy. Crushes righties to a 965 OPS. Yeah. I'm down with him. I'm down. Edwin Rios is definitely my play of the day. Gary, you know what? Screw it. I'll hit the like button and get us up to 195. But there we go. Gary, play of the day.
I'm going to go to Milwaukee. I like this guy a lot. I'm going to have to split my exposure, though, because he is a first base play. Rowdy Tellez is going to hit 2 today.
2?
2.
All right, I'm going to bet that. I'm going to bet that he hits 1. If it doesn't hit, Gary, I know you're out your address, so I might show up and just do nothing. JT Hayes, where are we here? 200. Let's go. You get JT Hayes play. Thanks, guys. By the way, you really helped us with the algorithm.
Fantastic. It's tough because there's a lot of these offenses. I like your play. I like the Milwaukee lefties. And then you go, like I said, up and down that Acela corridor. And I don't think that he's going to be so highly owned. I don't think he's going to be so highly owned. I'm seeing a little bit lower ownership here. And like I said, one of the streakiest hitters in the history of baseball, Randy Arozarena. He can do a lot. He can steal some bases too against Watkins. So he's the guy.
Okay, very good. Let's talk about the site since we got a minute. Okay, JT Hayes. Absolutely. What are the people getting besides for the amazing NBA Showdown content that we're doing now? We only have the best Showdown player in the world in BigT, and I'm not screwing around here. Like legit, the guy's the best Showdown player in the world. Why would you not get in now? PGA 50% off your first payment of a monthly plan. Let's go, JT Hayes. Talk up the site, buddy.
Yeah, cores, playbooks for every single sport, every single slate. You've got, then you get a lot of free content here, right? This show is free. Yeah. Get a free show that's on every night. You've got our podcasts, and then the Premium Up to Lock show, one of the most critical pieces of content that's put out, taking you through all the different changes, lineups coming out, late scratches in NBA, line movement that maybe other people aren't attuned to. So it's just a great deal.
Beautiful. Gary, anything you'd like to add about how amazing we do here?
I mean, I don't know how people don't sign up. I mean, there's people posting and members never win every night. And it's, usually, 5 digits. It's not just, they're winning 10K plus every night here. I don't know what you're doing. I mean, it's pretty incredible, the product that the staff puts out here. So yeah, join it.
Thank you, Gary. That was wonderful. So I'm going with Singer today, right? I'm going to roll with Singer, save a little cash. I could stick my Dodgers in there.
There you go.
All right. Beautiful. Yeah. I love it. Okay. Hey, thank you very much for watching today. Even GQ. Appreciate that. Jacob Stubbs. Good to see you too. It was a great show today. We got a little rowdy. I enjoy that. And that's about it. We've got a NASCAR show starting in an hour and 7 minutes. That will be on the RPS channel. So again, click subscribe and you can get notifications for that. If you want to hear some more baseball, head on over to the bet side. It'll be here on YouTube. JJ, Joey Work. I'll be hosting today with those guys. If you thought today got out of hand on this show, you should watch that debacle sometime. For Gary, for JT, I'm Holden. Simon, you know what to do.